Hello and welcome to the podcast, We Are Selling. My name's Lee Woodward and joining me today as my guest for the third week in a row is Mr. Tom Panos. Tom, welcome to the program.
Thanks, Lee. Good to be back here again for another week.
Tom, our topic today, not all business is good business. What is your thoughts?
Yeah, it was during the boom, and it is when you've got a high absorption market and every bit of stock is being sucked up in the market, and low days on market are the main theme of the marketplace. It's not right now, Lee. In many markets, we're seeing days on market drag out. We're seeing a low list to sell ratio, and not all business is good business means that if you've got an unmotivated vendor that is unrealistic, in addition to that, doesn't want to really invest in marketing and says things along the lines of, Lee, we just want to go off market. We don't want to let too many people know. We don't want to make a big song and dance about it. So they don't really want to market. They might have even tried to negotiate on your standard fee. And you might even get this intuition, Lee, this gut feeling, just talking to them. This is going to be hard, right? This is going to be hard. So if you've got a vendor that's unmotivated, unrealistic, has not invested in marketing, hasn't paid you a fair fee, and also has signs of being a challenging vendor, what I say is that's not a listing, that's a liability. We get paid when a property sells, not when a property is listed, right? We get paid for the transaction. Now, what I'm saying is it's unlikely the vendor that has those 5 criteria that I've gone through is going to be a seller. Sometimes, Lee, you can't tell. You can go in, they might be separating so you can't see their motivation. They might give you a really high figure. You think it's unrealistic. And then you find out 3-4 weeks later, oh wow, they dropped the price. They were selling. They were motivated, but I didn't know that because they hid the motivation when I first met them. So there is a possibility that you may have to put properties through the process before you actually find out where they're really at. But what I'm saying, Lee, is this. If you've got, to all our listeners there today, if you've got a vendor that is not engaging with your feedback, is not paying attention to the reports you're sending, is not readjusting price on your recommendation, and in addition to that, is calling you up and is always unhappy, what I suggest is that maybe the time has come to terminate the relationship. And don't do it arrogantly. Just turn around and say, hey, Lee, listen, I want to keep a relationship with you, but I don't think the relationship should be agent-vendor. On this occasion, it might be better off that you look at other opportunities with other agents there, because it appears the feedback I've given you over the last month is not being processed and not being engaged by you. So maybe I should actually look at having you look at your other options. And Lee, it's probably the market right now where sometimes the second agent is in a better spot than the first agent.
Tom, this is such a fantastic tip. And some of the probing points of this tip are, if I was taking on an owner right now, the first fee I would look at is the commitment fee. And a commitment fee to me is we're going to do the styling. We're going to get great photography, beautiful floor plans. Because even if I show it to one person, I've got one chance to showcase it. Oh, but I've got no money at the moment. That's all right. We can use sale funder. You pay on settlement. There's all these options now, but we have to invest to get the result. But I'm testing to see, is there a commitment fee here? If you were selling your car, you detail it, empty it, and get it looking stunning. You've got to do more than that with a house, so the commitment fee would need to be in there. But the second part of it is, and I love how you explain that, Tom, about, releasing your owner. There's a great way of looking at it that you're driving down this highway and the owner owns the car, so they're driving, and you're the co-driver. And you're saying, Tom, take the exit. And they go, nope, I want to keep on going. And that exit was a really good offer. Oh, we need to change the marketing. We need to do this. Let's pull over and fill up the fuel. Nope, I want to keep on going. And then you get another great offer, and we need to take this exit. Nope, I want to keep on going. Well, pull over the car and let me out, because you're not listening to me anymore as the co-driver, and I'm here to direct you and have my eyes on the road so for the things you can't see. But I need you to pull over and let me out, because you're going to run out of fuel in this tank, and the longer this property's on the market, the less you're going to get. And being honest with an owner that if you keep on going, it's going to get worse and less. So if you're not going to listen to me, you need to find someone you're going to listen to.
Yeah. So Lee, well said. The issue that we have is that there's an opportunity cost. Every time you're working with an owner who's unmotivated, unrealistic, and not engaging with your feedback is time that you could be spending looking for another owner who is motivated, Lee, right? And the third thing I want to touch on, Lee, is, I have a lot of, like you, I have a lot of one-on-ones, coaching conversations, meetings with agents. In the last year, I'll go as far as saying that the biggest stress for many agents has been a difficult vendor, a vendor from hell, if you like, someone that has been really draining emotionally. And I've seen even some of the great agents, the ones that write big numbers, Lee, ones that are on podcasts, ones that actually speak at conferences, often have been rattled by a specific owner who is unmotivated, not listening to their feedback, and in many ways outsourcing and delegating their problems on the agent. And what I'm saying is it doesn't have to be that way. You've got to create boundaries, right? And you've got to work out who is my ideal vendor and work with those ideal vendors or close to an ideal vendor versus the vendors that simply don't fit into the kind of clients you want to work with, Lee, and you know that, and I know that also from our own training businesses, that, you can have clients that are not good business, right? And you've got to make the decision on what a good client business is and what one is not.
Couldn't agree more. And Tom, great information. And just as the final closer to this little segment, sometimes the relationship has gone south, but suddenly you've got a great offer on the property. Don't forget to use the technique of a different voice. So, Tom, you and I could be working together, and the owner and I have had, some challenges in this relationship, and we've got a screaming offer, and I go, Tom, you should put this forward. And just a different voice sometimes, if you can detach that ego and use the technique of a different voice, could be the breakthrough you're looking for, because the outcome is a sale. Everyone wins when it's sold. We don't when we play the pride game and then the walkaway game and, it doesn't matter. It does matter. You put the time into it. You want to get rewarded. And being a better professional means taking those times and moments to, one, release an owner, I'd rather turn you down than let you down. And which was a great line from Tristan Rowlands on the program a couple of weeks ago, but also for your own mental health. You might be held back from working with great people because you are locked in the wrong relationship and they're not listening.
Yeah, no, that's 100%. And I just think to myself that, Lee, the opportunity cost with working with wrong people is significant. And, the last thing is it's always a pleasure to catch up with you, Lee, because we bounce off each other and I feel that at the end of a podcast, if I was a real estate agent and I was listening, that the content that's there, is applicable and relevant and that you can use it. And right now, Lee, I've been talking over the last 3 weeks with you. There are no more important things in this current market than the stuff we've been speaking about the last 3 weeks, which is how to list property in this market, how to sell a service, and if you do end up with a vendor that's not right, what to do about it, and your suggestion, Lee, of a different voice. Well, let me tell you, a different voice from the same office is a lot better than a different voice from a competitor's office.
Very true. Very true. Let it be you and not the next plan from the owner to replace you. Tom Panos, fantastic having you on for 3 weeks in a row. Wish you all the best and look forward to seeing you soon.
Stay well, Lee, and thank you so much.